All right, tonight I'm going to show you how to import an Excel sheet into WordPress using TablePress. So the first thing you're going to do obviously is create the Excel file and save it either as an Excel format or as a CSV. CSV is a smaller format, it's easier to use, so if you can convert it to a CSV, that's probably better. But the first thing you're going to do once you've done that is over here on your column, you're going to see an option for TablePress. Just go to TablePress, click on Import a Table. All right, so import source file upload. I'm going to choose a file. I've already added one there, so I'm going to click Demo. Import format, so mine's in CSV, so that's what I'm going to use. Append, replace, whatever, just select Add New. Just add a new one each time. And then click Import. All right, so here's the data for your file. The top part right here is where you can name it. I just call it FanDuel Demo. You don't have to name it if you don't want to, but if you name it, you have an option to make that name appear at the top of the sheet. So if you want to do like NFL rankings or whatever, you can put that in there. You can add a description too if you like. At the bottom of this, you're going to have a couple options. The first one is table manipulation. You don't got to mess with this too much. I almost never touched anything in here. Just leave it the way it is. Table options, there's a few options that you have. Some of them are pre-selected. The first one that's pre-selected is table head row, which basically means that your top line is going to be your header. So when the user scrolls, that header line won't move. So that's when it's pre-selected. You can make the last row do the same thing if you want. That one's unselected, so usually I don't check that one too often. Alternating row colors, that's a nice one to have selected. It's easier to read. Row hover highlighting, that's if your cursor is on that line, it highlights that line, which I also leave pre-selected. Print table name, so this is if you want your table name to appear at the top or bottom of the page. You can select that and then select above or below. Above makes more sense. And then you could do your description. If you wanted that to appear, you could do that above or below as well. I usually don't select that option though. Down at the bottom here, you got a couple more pre-selected ones. Obviously use data tables. Just leave that one the way it is. That's just putting it in JavaScript. Sorting, this allows the user to sort by column. It's a nice thing to have if you're doing like rankings or whatever, but if you don't want them to be able to sort it and you want it just to be static, you can uncheck it. The next one is search or filtering. Basically, by checking that box, it gives you a search bar on top of the table where they can search by a player's name, or whatever, and they'll just pull up those particular ones. This next one is how many how many rows show up per page. A good round number to use is like either 25 or even 50 if you're doing a really large ranking sheet, but this is how many will show up per page. The next one is, this one allows the visitor to change the number of rows shown. So if you put 25, but they actually want to see 50, they can change it. So you can check that box to allow them to do that. This next one is enable the table information display. Enable the table information display. I don't really even know what that does. I just leave it checked, whatever that does. I've never changed that one. This last one, horizontal scrolling. This one is if your table has a bunch of columns that don't actually fit on a regular computer screen. Checking this box makes it easier for them to scroll back and forth. So if you got like 12 columns and it only shows 6, they can scroll over and see the other 6 that are off screen. So I usually check that one as well. Once you're done with that, you click Save Changes. And wait a few minutes for it to save. And then I'll show you how to add it to your post. All right, so the table's saved. Now, when you go to your post screen, obviously you know what this looks like already. The very top, you're going to have an icon. If you scroll over it, it's going to say Insert a Table from TablePress. So you're going to select that one. And if you use the double arrow, it takes you to the very end, which is where it saves the latest ones. So click the double arrow and it should be the last one on the list. Yep, there it is, FanDuel demo, the one we just created. You click insert shortcode and you'll see where it says table ID equals 99. That's the shortcode. It's all you need for the table to show up. Now this is actually a page that I created as a test page that I use because this table will not show up until you publish. So I'm going to show you what it looks like just because this page is, like I said, a test page that I use for everything. So I'm going to click update. But if you do a preview on your menu, I don't believe it shows up in the previews. I could be wrong on that, but I'm going to show you what it looks like anyway. All right, so that's that. Let's click view page. And here is your table. So they can select how many rows they want to see right here. They could search by player's name over here. Highlights, it's got everything. They can sort each column, you know, however they want to sort it. They sort by player name, position, salary. Obviously, if we had a bunch of stuff on here, we'd have extra pages we can select from, but this is a small file that I created just for the purpose of this. But that's pretty much it.